Vanderbilt is a good football team. Proved it yesterday. Won at home as a favorite. Covered the number as well. Final score in Nashville, just down the road from us here, with an 11 a.m. kick. Vanderbilt 31, LSU 24. We'll break it all down. The LSU side, the Vanderbilt side, the whole impact of the college football playoff potential here for Vanderbilt. Yeah, I said it. We'll talk about that. Make sure you're subscribed if you're a college football sicko. The Hard Count presented by BetMGM. Make sure you're locked in because college football doesn't stop. And if you are just dropping into what's happening across the board in college football, you're looking at Vanderbilt saying, hang on, that logo with what they've been historically has a chance to make the playoff? Yeah, we'll talk about that. But I actually want to switch up our typical way of operating here with how we do game reactions. Typically, I start with the winner. I'd say, listen, this team was awesome. Here's why they won, all that. I want to start with the loser here because I think that's actually a little bit more jarring. Vandy was favored yesterday. I picked LSU. Was some part of that my heart? Sure. A lot of part of that, though, was for me saying I think that LSU overall was going to have a little bit of urgency about themselves. I thought the South Carolina game would propel them from that win into, okay, let's go get it mode in a game where you had to have it on the road. Here's where I fall on LSU. How you feel in life isn't always real, but it's always valid. You know what I'm saying? Like how you feel a lot of times will deceive you. Your emotions are all over the place. They're a chemical reaction for your body to keep you safe and protect you and put you in position to survive, essentially, here. How I felt watching LSU yesterday, I think was both of those. I know it was valid, but I think it was real as well. Watching LSU on third down, I'm just sitting there like how much pressure is Garrett Nussmeier going to have here? Two, like what has to happen for them to convert this? I was hoping a lot of the time watching LSU on third down. And that to me tells the whole story. Like the run game actually was halfway decent for the second time in a row in as many weeks. Like your running backs averaged 8 and 5 yards a carry respectively. Still wasn't enough on the ground to get you what you needed in the passing game. Both your touchdowns were a little bit, I don't want to say fugazi, but a little bit fortunate in some sense. Like your Garrett Nussmeier fading back, you throw a back foot throw to Trey'Dez Green. You got one to Xavier Thomas where it's like he breaks 4 tackles after Garrett Nussmeier evades pressure and throws one that looks like it might be just a duck out there to him. Like both touchdowns felt a little bit like a lot had to happen to go right. I say both. 2 touchdowns felt like a lot had to happen to go right for LSU in that game. I'm hoping a lot watching LSU play football on the offensive side. It's never a good emotion to have. Never a good emotion to have. And I know there's a lot to be said about Garrett Nussmeier and his health, and I think that's fair. Garrett Nussmeier and his health is only as impactful and important as you're able to protect him. Like Garrett Nussmeier, whether he's full health or 50% health, he's not going to be effective when he's got a bunch of pressure in his face every other snap, which is what happened yesterday. Again, Garrett Nussmeier and LSU offensively, hoping for things to happen for you offensively. It takes so much work, it feels like, for LSU to get something going on the offensive side. Then defensively for LSU, no Whit Weeks, and some of this I think you chalk up to the offense not helping you out a lot when it comes to what you were on that side of the football. But, Vanderbilt just was the more savvy football team. They were the more timely football team. I don't know, man. There's kind of a palms-up thought process here when I look at LSU. So for us having picked them to make the college football playoff and win the national championship in the preseason, 10-2 it is. All right, we have to go on a run here and beat A&M and Bama if you want to go make the college football playoff for LSU. It'll, by the way, just like tightrope the rest of your schedule, which feels like it's asking a lot. I'm very worried about LSU. I told you I was officially worried post Ole Miss. I am increasingly more worried about them after this game. Not because of what I think about Vanderbilt, but because of what I saw from LSU offensively. Defensively, again, for Vanderbilt, going back to, or moving along here to the winner of this whole equation, that defense, with what they were in that front seven, it deserves a lot of credit. And I know LSU is not great on the offensive line right now, and that running game has had question marks that they've earned over the course of this season. But they played with aggression. They got after Nussmeier. They look like a legitimate defensive front seven that belongs in the SEC. And I know we talk about Pavia a lot. We'll talk about him here in a second. The way that they played on the defensive side, I think, deserves a ton of praise with the way they're operating right now. So that needs to be said off rip. Offensively, Diego Pavia gets a lot of different labels. He's a dog. He's gritty. He's high energy. He's all those things. And that's 100% true. That's what jumps out at you when you watch him play ball. It's a big reason why I think Vanderbilt, as a football team, has turned their personality into a team with an edge, a team that can get you any given Saturday, and a team that's playing with a tremendous level of belief right now. That is 100% true. But I think what gets missed with Diego Pavia is how savvy that dude is. So, I mean, I want to throw out a comparison here. I wonder how much of this audience will remember Jeremiah Masoli when he was at Oregon and was at Ole Miss. Diego Pavia is like a dialed-up version of Jeremiah Masoli to me. He's a great ball handler. He feels the pocket really well. Like, there were several plays yesterday where LSU brings pressure off the edge, and Diego Pavia never actually turns around to see that pressure. He just feels it, steps up, feels an open lane develop, takes off, gashes LSU either for a touchdown or for a big first down, and breaks their back. Like, that was how Diego Pavia operated yesterday. He's playing like a dude that's been told he's undersized his entire life. That's known he's had to do a little bit extra with the instincts and in the margins to be the guy that's ultimately the starting quarterback for his football team, and then allows his offense to have success when he's playing quarterback for said football team, this one being Vanderbilt. Like, he's won everywhere he's won. Whether it be JUCO, whether it be New Mexico State, whether it be Vanderbilt now, like, dude's just a freaking winner, man. And a big part of that, I think, is that savvy nature he has about himself that continues to put Vanderbilt in successful positions now. I go back to this, too, the 4th and 1 play where he's dead in the water. He's doing a dance back there with Jack Pyburn and evades pressure, and the play looks like it's blown up. But he has the savviness, the presence of mind to know that he is a running back on the other side of the field, just all by his lonesome, finds him, delivers a catchable football to him, first down. Like, plays like that you don't make unless you are just a savvy, aware, instinctual football player. That is Diego Pavia. So, yes, he's a dog. Yes, that has to be said because it's a big deal with the force multiplier of what he's been for Vanderbilt football. But the savviness to me is what is being under-talked about when you look at A1 Diego Pavia. So, I told you we'll talk about Vanderbilt with the college football playoff outlook. That's a real discussion we have to have. Like, there's no more, Vanderbilt, good for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, they're good for what they've been historically. Vanderbilt's just good, period. We look at what they have right now. Missouri at home, right, at Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, at Tennessee. I don't see a game on there that isn't winnable for Vanderbilt. And a 10-2 Vanderbilt would get in the college football playoff, so they could drop one of those and still be in the dance for my money. Like, is Texas a world beater right now? I don't know. Just took Kentucky to overtime. Auburn, they got massive issues. Diego Pavia doesn't have any issue with playing Hugh Freeze. Kentucky's Kentucky at Tennessee. I don't know, rivalry game with this version of Vanderbilt that's much better than what they were last year. Heck, Vandy probably feels like they should have beat Missouri last year. And they play them this year at home. So there's a lot there for Vanderbilt where I'm like, man, they are the real deal. I know we're going to talk a lot about the history of Vanderbilt, and we are not used to seeing that logo a lot of times on the winning side of things, but let's just make sure this is clear. I want to say it as few times as possible, but I want to make sure we say it out loud right now. Vanderbilt is not just good relative to their history, not just good relative to their logo, not just good relative to expectations. Vanderbilt's just a good football team. They're tough. They move the football at a high level on the line of scrimmage. They make you be disciplined, and they don't beat themselves. And they got a quarterback who makes it all go, who's gritty, savvy, and all that in between. So LSU got real problems. I think the way that I'm concerned about you is both real and valid. And for Vanderbilt, they're a good football team that could find themselves in the college football playoff. That is college football in 2025. Let me know your thoughts, though. Instagram, Twitter, at Jody Pickell. Get at me on there. For Cato on the ones and the twos. For myself, Jody Pickell, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time.